I was so into guns. Still am. I love guns. I love shooting guns, but at targets and stuff. I'm not the hunter guy.
I know what you mean.
I like, making big bombs, dressing in trench coats, going to school. I just like guns.
Lay in the back of your car with a little hole cut in the trunk.
Yeah, that too. Sure. Driving around Washington.
Sitting and just waiting.
Hi, boo-boo!
Just take a few pot shots. We were, we used to, when I lived in California, all of my wacky stories, by the way, come from California. We were out in the Mojave Desert. We used to go out in the desert and just camp. Me, my father, brother, these other families that we used to hang out with, all Mexicans, the Reyes family.
How old were you when you got your first gun?
It was my 12th birthday. Yeah, 12th birthday. I got what the hell did I get? Nice little Ruger 6-shooter, Western style. Wore it on hip. Nice, low-slung holster.
You walked around with a loaded gun at 12?
12, 13, around there. It was because we used to ride fence, they called it. Ride fence. We had about 3,500 acres or 35,000 acres that had cattle on it. And I used to have to ride the barbed wire fence and then patch it up because the motorcycle guys used to come through and cut the fence. And when you're up there in that, I was fully armed. Had a Winchester 30-30 in the scabbard, and had my little 6-shooter on my hip.
Little skinny Anthony on a horse with a little gun.
A motorcycle guys never screwed with me.
Why would they cut the fence?
To get their motorcycles through.
Oh.
They would cut the fence and then continue on the way because it was like great motocross up there. But then all of a sudden your cattle gets out. So I was armed to the teeth, and it was fun, shooting cactus and rattlesnakes and stuff like that. We went out into the Mojave Desert where we also had dune buggies, guns, and tequila. And we're a bunch of kids just drinking and shooting. It was really... But thank God everyone was safe. Oh, wait, no, everyone wasn't safe.
I'm so bummed I never got to meet your father, man.
He was insane.
He's kind of like an unbelievable guy.
He was a madman. It was
no parenting whatsoever.
No,
Gotta love it.
Carnival. I'll tell you, though, as a guy between like 13 and 17 years old, it was the place to be.
I was going to say, perfect, right?
No responsibility and just all excitement, adventure, and fun. Whatever you wanted to do. One day he just went out and bought a dune buggy. Some days there wasn't food to eat, but he had a goddamn dune buggy, and it was a pisser, You're driving that thing around. You're 14 years old, wheeling around a dune buggy. Went out into the desert. Guns everywhere. We're all wearing guns. And this one kid...
Why would you go out to the desert? Just to party and ride the dune buggies?
Just to spend about a week,
shoot
10
at targets,
days out.
maybe?
This guy, Juan Reyes, had a silver mine out there. It was an old, like from the 40s, a silver mine, but it had a little mining shack. And we used to just camp out there and shoot and drink and, hang out and drive the dune buggies around. And this guy, Juan Reyes, had this old 6-shooter. And it was the type that had no real safety on it. The firing pin was directly on the hammer that you cock back.
Sure.
And the new ones don't have that. The trigger has to be pulled and the hammer has to fall. The old ones, if the hammer fell and the trigger wasn't pulled, it still went off. And worse yet, you had to quarter cock it, which is kind of pull the hammer back to load it, because you had to spin the cylinder around. So he's putting the bullets in. The thing's quarter cocked. You ever hear go off half cocked? That's kind of what it means.
Okay.
Don't go off half cocked.
Oh,
He's
wow.
loading it up. He raises this thing. The hammer falls. It's pointing right at his 8-year-old son. Boom! Bullet goes right in his left shoulder, above his heart, and right out the back. I'm standing right there. I'm looking right at the kid when it hits him.
How close were you to the kid?
I was about as close as I am to you right now, about 4 feet away.
Wow.
So I'm and I happen to be looking at him when this happened. Hits him right there. He turns immediately white. This tube, it looked like a plastic tube of blood, came out. It was shaped perfectly round, like a water fountain. Came shooting out of his, what I thought, chest. I didn't even know it was his shoulder because it was close to his heart. Comes shooting out. He goes, uttered something and fell right down to his knees. I'm like, holy shit, I just saw his father kill his son right there. And the father just lost his mind. Blah, blah. Meanwhile,
Didn't you say the blood just kind of like started?
it did, like a tube.
Oh,
It came
I'm
pumping
sorry, I was
out.
thinking of something.
Just went like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. So the father's like, oh my God! Like everyone just freaked out. It was a hell of a scene to be part of.
Was this in the woods now?
Oh, let me tell you where we were. Grab a little map, people. This was between Barstow, California, and Needles, Arizona. There's a little old highway that runs between it, and we were 50 miles in on dirt roads off the highway.
50 miles in.
Before you get to the highway that takes you another whatever it is to Barstow or Needles, they decided to go to Needles, Arizona, to go to the hospital there. But they just loaded them up in the pickup truck, packed ice on them, wrapped it up, and took off. And hours later, 10, 12 hours later, the cops came back to do a little investigation because it was a shooting. They came back with guys that were just armed like crazy because they had no idea what was happening out here. Group of guys in the Mojave Desert, there's a shooting.
They're thinking cult or something.
Yeah, they came out of those. They had big Suburbans, and they just came out of there like, everybody come out of the mining shack. Everyone, please come out of the mining shack. We want to see everybody's hands. They did a little investigation. Little Charlie Reyes lived. It was in his shoulder, and that was that. But it was the first and only time I ever saw someone get shot. Thought he was dead too. That looked like just a heart shot.
What'd you do
His
after
whole
that?
shirt turned.
Did you just run away and hide, cry? What'd you do?
It was like we were all shaken, like freaked out. So we went in and just did massive shots of tequila.
You're 12.
Yeah. No, I think I was 13 or 14 or something.
All right.
But yeah, that makes it better.
When did you lose touch with Charlie Reyes?
When I came back to New York, probably about 17 years old.
And you never saw him again?
No, I saw him not since then. No, but he was fine. They had a little brace on him, and it went in and right out. It was a 22, so it wasn't like a 38. Take his little 8-year-old arm off. But to see a little 8-year-old kid just like hit his knees and go, like he said something like, holy shit, that kid just got shot.
If you slow it down, it was probably, hey, I'm shot, you dumb wetback.
Holy shit, you ever see a fucking head come apart like that? Hey, we worked him over with the butt of the shotgun. Made him hop around on one foot. That's how the gook laughs.
Hey, go get that big, hairy, creepy crawler from the ammo dump and put it on his gunshot wound.
And the cops came through, went through some paperwork, said, no, this is important. This is important. And then it blew up.
Y'all love little Charlie Reyes.
Hey, Jim, what's up?
Charlie Reyes was a water walker. She's probably the one that did fucking Charlie Reyes.
Through the whole mining camp for Charlie. And Sal.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus, I got nothing to follow that.
Good luck, Jim. Go ahead.